Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio. Thought I'd try another video where I just bring you into the studio while I am crafting and doing stuff for my journals and not working on any journal in particular. And if you followed my channel, you've seen that I've had a couple videos out where I try to use up old scrapbook paper that I would not normally put in a journal or something and make ephemera out of it. And anyways, so yesterday I was sitting here working on some of that, and this is what I came up with, and I wanted to show you, and I thought we would do a few today. So excuse me. So this was the actual paper. I don't know if you know, like these are old scrapbook, let me find it here, scrapbook paper books. They're 8.5 by 11. And some of the papers are really pretty and fairly neutral and sort of my style still, but some of them are not. And you don't want to waste the paper, so I'm always looking for things to do with them that will kind of change them a little into something that I would use. These are very bright colors. Let me see, look. Like really bright. And I have altered some of these papers in videos before. But anyways, so I thought I would just maybe pick another couple of papers and show you also. Let me see where I put it. Oh, here. I also, the other day, I was doing the same thing with the papers and made this ruffle out of these papers, the greens. There were a couple of different designs, but I actually just made this paper ruffle, and you'll see here's where the paper changes. And it really changes. Like, maybe I wouldn't necessarily use this whole sheet of paper, but I certainly would use this. So these are just some ideas that I come up with or that I've seen. I mean, people are making paper ruffles like crazy, and I thought, oh, what a good idea to use up my old scrapbooking paper. So I thought I would take a couple of sheets of new paper and show you how I came up with these, and how these two came out of one sheet and these two came out of one sheet. This is actually a folded envelope, and it's glued. This one is a faux envelope, so you could put that on a page and use it for journaling inside. So I thought I would just show you how I did that. So let's pick a paper that we would not normally use. Wow, there's some really bright ones, huh? See, these types of papers I would use as full sheets, so I don't necessarily want to use those up. But looking for something like these are kind of yellow, orangey kind of colors. So let's try to pick something different, maybe I would use in a fairy journal or something like that. So got some purples. Let's pick this. This is a pretty one, pink and yellow. I probably wouldn't use this plaid paper. Ooh, that's crazy, huh? But anyways, let's pick this one. We'll see if we have something else that looks like I used part of that. Let's pick this one. Just something different. And I'm going to get rid of these. And then I actually made a template. I'm going to go ahead and sit down here and get started. So I actually made a template of an envelope one time. Let me find it. this was the actual envelope. I just totally opened it up. Okay, it even has the glue on it. I just totally opened it up. Okay, and then I traced it onto a piece of paper because I had ripped it a little bit. And so I used this. The other thing that I did was I scanned this, and on my computer I have an outline, a black outline of this envelope. So I can actually put this into my computer and it will print the outline of the envelope on a colored sheet. But what I was doing the other day was I just drew it. Because I was sitting in here and I was just trying to work, you know. So I'm going to put it way off to one side without going off the paper. And I'm just going to trace it somewhat. We can erase the lines if it's not perfect. But these are the kinds of things that I do when I'm, you know, watching other people's videos or you know, just trying to come up with ideas for the journals. And I know that, you know, I do not make much ephemera in advance. However, as I've copied other people, you know, making ephemera, like, you know, Roxy at Rachel at Roxy's Creation, she does the weekly challenge. If she does something that I think is kind of interesting, then I will, you know, try it. And so I do have ephemera built up. I also participated in Janet Young's scavenger hunt once, and it was kind of based on art. Most people that participated were doing kind of art journal type things, and I don't do that anymore. So I was looking for things to do to fit in my journal. So I did her scavenger hunt with making ephemera in mind. So I do have some ephemera from that. And also when I designed digital kits, I'm also printing out things and trying to get ideas and maybe changing things, drawing on them, painting on them. So I've accumulated ephemera from that. But in general, when I make a journal, it's, you know, I have a theme and I start creating based on that theme, and not usually the stuff that I have in my ephemera box. Nah, usually doesn't fit. I go through it and I look for anything that I think will work, but in general, probably not. Okay, so first of all, see all these pieces? I take all the little pieces off and I save these in my small scrap box, but this stuff, I just get rid of this. Okay, so, and then this right here, I just even out the side of this. So let's get my cutter. I want to make sure I'm on screen here. Yep. And I'm just going to even this out. Ooh, my blade needs changed. Maybe I need to make it a little, I need to cut a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so out of these two pieces, let me move these aside. Move these aside. So out of these two pieces here, I'm going to go ahead and fold this. And I'm just looking for the corners here. And I may need to change the fold a little bit, but whatever. And then I'm going to fold the sides in. the sides in like that. And then what I like to do is put these on the outside like this. So then I would just take my glue stick. Ooh, this is a new one, so it's really juicy. Okay, and I would just go right up along here. And I'm going to, I thought I should have put it on the part that I folded up, but let's see. So on this side, let's not go quite up so far. We want to go up to about there. Okay. Okay. So there's that, and then I would just look for the corners here, and I would just fold this down. Sometimes I actually bend it like this and fold, because you can see your corners a little better, like this, and that makes it easier to fold in. Okay, so there's our first envelope, and then our faux envelope, we're just going to fold up and fold this one down. So we end up with these like this. And then I would just distress the edges. You know, go along and distress these edges, because I'm an inker. You know, some people are inkers, some people aren't inkers. I'm an inker. And I think I got that because when I first started looking at journals and that, I was watching Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, Gail Augustinelli, and they're inkers. So I kind of picked that up from them. Oh, and then this one, what I do here is I do go along the inside, bend it in half and do both front and back. And then I just kind of pick this up. I could have inked this before, but honestly, I don't feel it's worth it to ink all the edges that are going to get tucked in anyways. So I just ink it like that. So there's one. And then our faux envelope, we're going to ink all the way around every side, because you're going to totally open this up. And I do inside and out. Okay, and that's our faux envelope. So there's one. That's what matches these. And look at how different the paper looks now that you're using it like this. It's not like all in your face bright colors. So let's do, okay, out of the pink one, what we made was a little bag. So this is half a page. So I was able to just cut this in half. So at about 5.5 this way. I'm gonna make it, this right here is 4 1/4. I make them different all the time, so let's see what we did with this one. This one is, yeah, it's about half, but it's not really 5.5 tall. So let's make it, I'm always looking for, let's make it almost 5.5. I'm always looking for ways that I can keep more paper on, because I can make faux washi tape with it or something like that. Okay, so to make, this is going to be for our bag, and this piece that we have left, we want to make a, where is that here? We want to make a Rita Donnelly flip, and my pages are normally 5.5, so I like to make the flip about 4.5. So if I do that, then I want to cut 4.5 this way. I make them 4.5 to 5, about like that, but let's make it 4.5. Okay, and then this has to be 4.5, because to make those, it needs to be a perfect square. Okay. And the Rita Donnelly flip, because it's a perfect square, you just fold it. And then when it goes on a page, why do I not have a page here? Let me grab a page real quick. Okay, I just grabbed one of these out of my box. So if it were going to go on a page, it would go like this, okay? And then you could tuck a tag or something in there, and then it flips open for journaling, okay? Let me show you, like these, this would go on a page, okay? You can either make a belly band out of it, okay? And then it would totally open up for journaling. Or you could tuck it over a page or on the side of a page. So that's what this one does. Same thing with your envelope. A lot of times I'll make a flip out like this for an envelope, and then I would maybe cover this piece. Okay, so this is our flip. So we want to go ahead and ink our flip. But see, I would definitely use this as opposed to a whole sheet of paper. Probably not so much. Okay. And I'm not sure what side of the page I'm going to put it on, so I'm going to go ahead and real quick ink both sides. And it doesn't matter what side of the page you put it on, you want to ink all of your insides. And of course, if you're not an inker, you don't have to do that. Okay, so that takes care of our Rita Donnelly flip. Okay, and that matches this one here. So we'll put those aside. And then this is our little bag that I made, and I think I did a tutorial how I made these out of my craft packing. But this is, I can make this out of this. So basically, what I'm going to do with this is I want to fold it so that the sides overlap, kind of in the center, somewhat in the center. Okay. And you decide how wide you want it to overlap or whatever. So I think that I'm going to go kind of like this. So there's no rhyme or reason to this, really, honestly. You know, if you want to find a center, you could look at this and say, well, it's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. So 4 1/4 would be the center. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. So, you know, you could kind of put it somewhere around there. You're going to want to overlap it. So I would crease that there. Then I would just overlap this. At least maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch around there. Okay, got that? And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it up like this. I'm going to open it, and I am going to, what do I do with my scissors? Oh, here we go. And I'm going to, I want this part to go up. I want it to see how it goes up. So I'm going to cut this at an angle. I don't know if you can see that, at an angle, and then cut this piece off. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this at an angle and then cut this piece off. Okay. Make sure that that's folded up. Okay. Now what I do is I have some scissors that I use this design here when I do like postage stamp edges or something. And so I want to go ahead and cut an edge on this to make it kind of look like that, like a paper bag edge, before I glue it. Okay. And also, okay, you want to find the center of your piece. So I bring these two folds together, and I don't fold it, but I bring them together so they kind of match up right here. And I find the center right here, and I do pinch that, okay? So then what I'm going to do is, on the inside, I'm going to take my pencil, knowing that this is the center, okay? And I'm going to cut this out. So I'm going to make, what I'm trying to do is cut this little thing right here. So I just go from this edge and I kind of make a semicircle so that it passes at the center and then comes back up to this other corner, okay? Then I go ahead and cut all of this with these scissors. And then we come up with a piece that looks like this. So then all we have to do is glue it. But what I go ahead and do is I go ahead and do my distressing. So it makes it easier when you're doing it this way. And we want to do this, this side here inside, because that's what you see right there, okay? And depending on where you're going to put it in your journal, you know, distressing is going to show. So I just go ahead and distress everything. It just makes it easier for me when I'm doing it. Okay, and then I want to do my edges right here. Front and back. Same on this side. Okay, and then I want to make sure that I distress this because this is the part that's going to be folded up, and I want it to show if I can. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and glue that. So looking, it overlaps about to here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue. I'm going to glue that just inside where I see it overlaps, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom up. This is a juicy glue stick because I just opened it. That's why it's so juicy and messy. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Then we've got a little bag. Pretty simple. So anyways, I hope you that these give you some good ideas of what you can do. Look at these, how pretty. These will be pretty, like even in my botanical journal. Anyways, I hope it gives you some good ideas. And notice that when we got done with this one, making our flip and our bag, we ended up with this much paper left. So I can either make full washi, I could make a ruffle out of this, just cut strips and sew ruffles. That's one 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. So you could get a lot if you had a 12 by 12 inch. Anyways, that's all for today. I'm gonna work on some other things in just a few minutes. Maybe I'll turn the camera back on for that. If not, if I get sidetracked like I usually do, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified of future content. Have a great day. Bye-bye.